Manga-Waido.
My name is Takeo Nishiyama, and I'm married to Ayaka, who is 1 year older than me. I met Ayaka in a club when I was a university student. I was taken care of a lot at the time because she was my senior, but we didn't develop a romantic relationship while we were still in school. After Ayaka graduated, we didn't see each other at all. But a little while after I became a working adult, we met again at a drinking party at the club's alumni. From there, we hit it off. Ayaka started contacting me, and we eventually got to know each other going out for drinks.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got into a pretty good company.
Well, yeah, I'm glad I got in, but the work is tough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot to learn.
So is the salary good?
I guess the higher-ups get paid pretty well. I'm just a lowly guy, so I don't get paid much at all.
Huh.
I had Ayaka listen to my complaints and advice about my work. When I was a university student, I used to ask Ayaka for advice on various things. So it was like I was back in those days, and I enjoyed my time with Ayaka. At the time, I was still new to my job, and I was pretty stressed out from the hard work. I didn't have any friends I could complain to about work, so Ayaka's presence helped me a lot. After that, Ayaka approached me aggressively, and we started going out. Our relationship progressed steadily, and we eventually got married. She can be a bit strong-willed, but I loved Ayaka for who she was. We were blessed with a child right after we got married. His name is Haruto. It goes by fast. He's already 2 years old. My wife is older than me, so I always listen to her.
Hey, you haven't finished cleaning the toilet yet. Hurry up!
Sorry, I just have some work I have to turn in tomorrow. I've been busy. Can I do it later?
Do you think that's okay? Just make it quick. This is your job too.
Sorry, I'll do it now.
When you're done, hang the laundry and do the shopping too. I'm busy with Haruto.
Okay. It's like this every day these days. The fact that we were senior and junior in college probably had some effect. I was always a bit timid myself, too. But I felt happy in my life with Ayaka and Haruto. I even felt frustrated that I couldn't serve my family because of my workload. Ayaka had already returned to work at the company she was working for before giving birth, and she was still working there. I pushed for her to be a full-time housewife because she often came home late, and it seemed like a lot of work. But
I'm worried about our future with only your income, and I like working.
she said, I'll work harder.
I can take care of Haruto without any problems, so it's fine. Well, I do want you to work harder, though.
Right. I'll do my best to get a promotion too, so you won't have to worry about money.
I'd appreciate it if you did.
I must work even harder. It was soon after that conversation when I was ordered to go on a business trip to negotiate a contract. But due to the other party's circumstances, it fell on a 3-day weekend. Ayaka, I need to talk to you.
What? I'm busy, so make it quick.
Sorry, I have to go on a business trip for the 3-day weekend next month. You know, we talked about having a family vacation, right?
3-day weekend? Oh, but it's for work, right?
Well, yeah, but...
Okay, good luck with your work.
Thanks. It's a negotiation with a certain company. I'll do my best.
Yeah.
I was honestly relieved that Ayaka seemed willing to send me off with no problem. And then, the day of the business trip arrived. Negotiations went surprisingly well. I'm glad we were able to get the contract without incident. The contract negotiations went smoothly and ended half a day earlier than planned. Come to think of it, there should be a famous sightseeing spot on the way home. I remember Ayaka said she wanted to go there. With that in mind, I decided to get off the train on the way home and check out the sightseeing spot that had been on my mind for a while. Wow, it's a pretty nice place. Ayaka likes this kind of place, and I'm sure she'll be happy. There's also facilities for children where Haruto can play. Let's make this our next trip. After a thorough inspection, it was time to get on the train to go home. Is that? I saw an unbelievable sight. I'm home.
Welcome back. How was your business trip?
It was tough, but we got the deal done.
Oh, congratulations! Good for you!
Thanks. Where's Haruto?
He's already gone to bed. I took Haruto's to my parents' house for the holidays.
I see. Ayaka and the house were completely normal. That would have been fine, but... And then, about a month later, I offered Ayaka to go on a trip as a couple to thank her for all her hard work. Thanks for all your hard work raising Haruto. I want a ticket to an inn, so let's just relax once in a while.
Oh, really? It's a bit sudden, but I'm sure Haruto will be happy.
Haruto? I don't know.
So, where's the inn?
That's... Well, we'll just have to wait and see on the day. But it should be your favorite place, so look forward to it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't mind.
Just look forward to it. And then came the day of the trip. We left Haruto at my parents' house and drove off to our destination. I'm looking forward to this vacation.
Yeah, but why did you leave Haruto? If it's a family trip, Haruto should be with us.
I told you, this is a trip to thank you for your hard work raising our child. I thought we could enjoy some time together as a couple.
Well, it's fine. I just thought it wasn't like you.
Really? But my mother-in-law and the others graciously told us to go have fun as a couple. So let's have fun.
That's true. It might be nice to do something like this once in a while. So, where are we going? Can you tell me by now?
That's something you'll have to wait for when we get there.
You're really holding out on me, aren't you? Well, that's okay. I'm going to sleep, so wake me up when we get there.
Ayaka fell asleep after saying that. I was checking the travel plan in my head on the way. After all, it was a plan that I made after previewing the place. A few hours later, we arrived safely at our destination. I woke Ayaka, who was asleep in the passenger seat. And when she got out of the car...
What? This place?
Ayaka looked around and suddenly started to get nervous. Huh? What's wrong, Ayaka?
Oh, no, nothing.
We've been talking about this place for a while, saying how we wanted to come.
Were we?
We were. Ayaka? Aren't you happy?
I'm happy. Yes, we've been talking about it for a while.
You like this kind of place, right?
Yeah?
I started touring the sites with Ayaka, who was slow on her feet. Ah! I heard this is a photo spot. Let's have our picture taken together.
What? Oh, okay, but...
Let's have lunch here. I hear it's good.
Huh? Okay.
I'll have the pork cutlet set meal. A sashimi set meal for you, Ayaka?
What? Oh, okay, I'll have that.
I heard there's a foot bath here. Let's go.
Sounds good.
They sell sweet dumplings. Do you want some, Ayaka?
What?
Excuse me. 2 of these matcha dumplings, please. Oh, you wanted the cherry blossom and not the green tea, right? Excuse me. Please change one to the cherry blossom.
What? It can't be.
Did you say something?
Nothing!
Ayaka seemed restless throughout the trip. Regardless of Ayaka, I was enjoying the trip, which was going according to plan. And we headed to the inn, where I had made reservations. Here, this is the inn.
This is...
Huh? Do you know this place by any chance? Well, it's famous. It looks like a very nice place.
Yeah.
What's the matter? You don't look so good. Are you okay? This is the best room. I chose a different one first, but I asked the staff to change it later.
What? Why this room?
Why? Because it has a great view.
That's true, but...
What's wrong? I thought you would be more pleased.
Oh, I'm glad. Thanks.
That's right. I heard there's a private open-air bath here. Want to go take a bath with me?
Oh, I see. Sure.
What's wrong? Aren't you a little down? Oh, maybe you've been here with your friends before?
Oh, maybe I did.
Taking Ayaka with a pale face along with me, I headed for the private open-air bath. Phew! The open-air bath is really nice, isn't it? The view is great, too.
Yeah.
Ayaka, you don't seem to be in good spirits today. What's wrong?
What? Really? Oh, I don't think so.
Is that so? Then that's fine. Come to think of it, Sasaki-san said the hot springs here were great.
What? What did you just say?
Sasaki-san said this hot spring was good too.
Why do you know that name?
We recently became acquainted. I heard that Sasaki-san is an aspiring actor. He's young and good looking, isn't he?
I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing? I'm just having a good time, you know? Ayaka, come on. There's no need to cry. You should be more happy. I continued to enjoy my first vacation in a long time. Ayaka ended up looking terrified the whole time, though. After that, Ayaka became very reserved when we got back home. I told you to finish cleaning the room, didn't I?
I'm sorry, I've been a little busy.
I don't want to hear your excuses.
I'll get right on it. I'm sorry.
Now the power dynamic at home had been reversed. Everything was going according to plan, because actually, a month ago, on my way back from a business trip, the day when I got off the train to inspect the place for a family vacation, I saw it. Huh? That figure! I saw Ayaka at the first sightseeing spot I visited, and there was a handsome young guy next to her, flirting with her. I wanted to believe that it was someone else, but she looked the same, not only in height and voice, but also in the clothes she was wearing and the belongings she was carrying. There's no way to deny it now. Ayaka, why? What happened with Haruto then? I was so upset, and with a shaking hand, I pointed my phone at them and managed to capture the video and photos as evidence. Meanwhile, the two of them were still flirting in public.
My husband is so weak-willed and totally useless.
Seriously? As the same man, that's pathetic.
He's an idiot. He won't notice no matter how much I cheat on him.
That's great.
I married him for the money anyway. He works at a prestigious company. I don't need anything else.
Ayaka's honest talk made me nauseous. I will never forgive you. I'm not just going to get a divorce. Thus, I decided to take revenge. After that, I hired an investigator to find out who the affair partner was. It was a guy named Sasaki, a little younger than me, who was an aspiring actor. I also found out that Ayaka was leaving Haruto with my mother-in-law every time and was having fun with Sasaki while I was away, like when I was on a business trip. Not only that, but Ayaka had also had a series of affairs in the past, and it was with someone in the same company. When I found out this fact, I felt really sick. After all the evidence had been gathered, I was no longer satisfied with mere revenge. So I decided to take Ayaka and reenact the affair with Sasaki and confront her about it. After returning home while Ayaka grew quiet, I told the whole story to Sasaki's entertainment agency. Sasaki was only a young actor, and he was fired from the agency. I filed for alimony at that time. Sasaki's now struggling to pay me back. Oh yeah, the company Ayaka worked for went bankrupt. It was originally a small marriage agency, and they managed to keep their reputation first. But their reputation was ruined by all kinds of bad rumors, starting with an affair within the company. A company that helps people get married having affair scandals from within? It's no surprise that their reputation has been ruined. But I wonder where they found out about it. Ayaka having something like that done to her from someone who she completely looked down on must be hard. Now, she's quiet as a borrowed cat. Ayaka?
Yes?
Don't be so jumpy all the time. Haruto's here too. Get it together.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take care of the cleaning and shopping for dinner. I'm busy with Haruto.
Yes.
I didn't really want this kind of life either, but Ayaka brought this on herself, so it can't be helped. Personally, I don't care when we divorce, but I still feel sorry for little Haruto. Haruto is innocent, and a little boy needs his mother. Besides, we need someone who can do the housework properly. I'm going to ask Ayaka to do a lot of work from now on.
My name is Toru Yamaura, 53 years old. I've been working for a small trading company in Tokyo for 30 years. I'm now in a position to command many subordinates. In fact, I still wasn't very good at training people, but every day and night, I strive to make it as easy as possible for my subordinates to work for me. Misaki, watch over me. The woman in this picture is my wife. She was much younger than me and too good for me. I met her 10 years ago through a friend, and we started dating. We got married, but she got very ill and died soon after we married. But I was not left alone. My wife was divorced with a child, a 14-year-old daughter at the time of our marriage. My daughter-in-law, Yuka. She was in the midst of puberty, and there were some emotional barriers for a while. But now, I think we've become closer. Since my wife died, I've done my best to give my daughter everything I could so she wouldn't have a hard time. Ah, a text from my daughter. She's a little spoiled by me, but women are more charming this way.
I want curry for dinner tonight. I'll buy the ingredients.
Okay. She's very thoughtful about the little things, and I think she's grown into a nice woman.
Thank you for your hard work.
Ah, Mineta, good work.
I'm here to inspect the multifunction printer. I'll take a quick look at it.
Thanks. He's Satoshi Mineta, a salesman who works for a multifunction machine leasing company. He does his job well, and is extremely helpful. There are a lot of lazy men these days, but Mineta was a rare young man who was polite and responsible. After returning home, I served my daughter Yuka the curry she requested.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit!
Delicious!
Hey Yuka, you're 23 years old now. You can't live with me forever, can you?
Oh yeah, about that?
What?
I'm dating someone I plan on marrying.
Oh, really? That's great news! I heard that she had been dating a man for about a year. I see. You finally met a man you can trust.
I really did. I've had bad luck with guys.
I've heard you say that so many times. There was a time when I was worried you might be the problem.
Of course not. Cheating men, debtors, violent men. I just couldn't trust any of them.
Yeah, you're right.
Thanks for all the help and advice you've given me.
You know I'm always on your side, Yuka.
But it's okay this time. Satoshi isn't like the rest of them.
I see.
He's a very nice man. He's even good at his job. He's a good man.
That's good to hear. So, Satoshi, what's his last name?
It's Mineta. Satoshi Mineta.
Satoshi Mineta?
Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. I immediately thought of the salesman of multifunctional machines, but no way. It's not an unusual name, and there are many people with the same name. Yuka was to bring the man in the near future. I put my hands together at the altar and gave a report to my wife. Misaki, I heard Yuka finally found the right man, and on that day...
Nice to meet you. Wait,
Mineta?
Yamaura-san?
What? You know each other?
Your father was Yamaura-san? I thought they just had the same last name.
No, I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was someone else with the same name.
What a coincidence, or...
I invited them into the room and asked them how they met, and many other things. They had met at a so-called blind date. Very typical of young people these days. Since we had known each other for a long time, we immediately got along. Ah, I can trust her with you, Mineta.
No, it's my pleasure, and I look forward to the future.
They were a perfect couple in my opinion. They often visited the house and continued to get along well with each other, both at work and at home. A few months later, they finally got married. When I saw my daughter's beautiful appearance at the wedding hall, I felt a surge of emotion in my heart. Yuka, congratulations!
Dad, thanks.
Misaki, finally, this day has come. Soon, they were blessed with a child, and it looked like smooth sailing for them. But one day, Yuka came home to the house and said something like this.
Hey Dad, listen to me.
What's wrong?
It's Satoshi. I can't believe him.
Mineta?
He doesn't help me with cleaning, laundry, cooking, or anything else. He even leaves the parenting to me. I wish he would help me a little bit at least.
That's not good.
Well, it's made me realize how hard having a family can be.
Right?
Thanks for everything, Dad. You've done everything for me all these years.
I never thought you'd say something like that.
Hey, I can be grateful too.
She's been relying on me in the past, but she seems to be able to stand on her own feet now. That makes me very happy. But I was somewhat worried that her life with Mineta was not going well. Mineta, I thought you were a solid man. The next day, Mineta came to my workplace. Of course, the contract was still going on.
Thanks for your hard work.
Oh, Mineta, good work. How was it today?
No, I was just passing by, so I thought I would ask if you had any problems. Is the new MFP going well?
Yes, everything's fine.
That's great.
Oh, Mineta,
Yes?
I think your work is excellent. I appreciate that very much.
Yes.
But life is not all about work. Maintaining a happy home is especially important for a successful career.
Yes?
That's all I'm going to say for now. I gave Mineta a warning with that. I hoped that would improve things. But one day, sometime later, I came home to find that Yuka had returned to the house without informing me. Yuka, you're home? What's wrong?
Oh, Dad, you're back.
What, are you guys fighting again?
Yeah, that's right.
Where's the kid?
Satoshi's watching them now.
What happened?
Nothing really, it's just that it's kind of a hassle.
A hassle?
I think he's having an affair.
Affair? Really?
I don't know.
If it's true, I can't overlook it. If you want, I can give him a good talking.
No, it's fine. I don't even have any proof yet.
Is that so? But if you're going to do something, the sooner the better.
I guess so, but let me wait and see. I don't want to make a big deal out of it yet. I'd feel a lot better if you let me stay here for a while just to relax.
Yuka. But you're no longer a member of the Yamaura family. You are the wife of the Mineta family. If something's wrong, you two need to have a talk about it.
I know, but what am I supposed to do? He's violent!
Violent?
And what do you mean by wife of the Mineta family? Does it mean I'm not your father's daughter anymore?
That's not true!
Well, we're not blood related from the start anyway.
Yuka, how can you say such a thing? Yuka, I don't know what happened, but I will always be on your side. If you are in trouble, I will do my best to help you. I'm always dreaming of a future where you're happy.
Thanks. I'm sorry I said something awful.
It's okay. Since then, I'd been trying to talk to Mineta when I saw him, but we hadn't had a chance to meet face to face. Misaki, please guide Yuka. I wished for my daughter's happiness, even to Misaki in heaven, but these wishes were in vain, and a few days later...
Yamaura-san, there was a phone call for you.
Who was it?
Well, actually, it seems to be the police.
Police? Hello? This is Yamaura. Upon hearing the story, I immediately went to the police, and to my surprise, there was Mineta.
Father?
Mineta. And then...
Hello, Dad?
Yes, Yuka?
I'm thinking of getting a divorce.
Divorce? What happened this time?
Satoshi was cheating on me.
Mineta?
That's right. So, I think we're about to go to trial and I was wondering if you know any good lawyers. Like a corporate connection or something?
Yeah, I have connections with lawyers.
I see. Then I want you to introduce me. I want alimony and child support and I want it all.
But I can't do that for you.
What? What are you saying?
I'm referring a lawyer to Mineta, not you.
What?
I heard all about it. The day I went to the police. Everything. Mineta was not in police custody that day.
Thank you, Father.
You surprised me out of the blue, asking me to pick you up.
I'm sorry.
What's going on?
It's hard to say, but...
Whereupon, I overheard the shocking truth. It seems that Mineta had been receiving terrible words from Yuka on a daily basis. Today, I heard that my daughter finally slapped Mineta in the face, and it led to a police incident. Yuka told me the opposite of what you told me.
The opposite?
That you were a man who didn't help out in the house, and how you were suspected of having an affair, And that you were sometimes violent?
That's not true! I did all the cooking, laundry, and cleaning. Just as I put all my energy into my work, I was just as frantic at home. It's Yuka who does no housework at all!
Are you serious?
Besides, the affair allegations? It was Yuka who was meeting with a man in secret. I don't know if that's adultery or not. At the very least, she was the one who often left our child at home and went out at night to have fun.
Yuka.
As for violence, it's how I told you. I would never raise my hand to a woman, not even by mistake.
I apologize.
No! I'm not asking you to apologize, Father.
No, this is my parenting responsibility. I am so sorry. I confronted Yuka with this fact. I already know everything.
No, it's not true. It's all a lie. He's just saying what he wants to say.
Yuka.
Who do you believe? Me, your daughter, or Satoshi?
I wanted to believe you too!
Why?
Do you think I would take this attitude based on nothing but people's stories? With nothing to back it up? After I heard about Mineta, I immediately hired a detective. I had them investigate my daughter's behavior. As a result, a startling fact came to light. The man you've been with so far. A man who cheated on you, a man who's in debt, and violent men, nothing is true. It was all your bad behavior that caused the breakups.
Why?
Anyway, I'm not going to help you on this one.
Dad!
Looking back, with your mother gone, I was desperate to make you happy. Maybe I spoiled you too much after all.
Dad, I'm sorry.
For you, I will become a demon! After hanging up the phone, I referred Mineta to a lawyer, and the divorce proceedings went smoothly. It seemed that there was adultery on Yuka's part after all. After that fact, the divorce was finalized, with Yuka taking full responsibility. Mineta was to take custody of the child. Later, Yuka came to the house to cry, but I made her leave. This time, I did not offer assistance. After that, Yuka moved from one friend's house to another, but now she found a live-in job and settled down there. I've heard from the people involved that for the time being, she's working to pay the alimony. Misaki, I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't raise her well. Whatever life Yuka leads from now on, I will watch over her from afar. I think that's the best I can do, as a responsible parent.
My name is Yumi Miura, 23 years old. I work for a company that sells and runs nursing care products. My main job is assisting sales. I am in charge of making quotations, organizing data, and shipping documents. Suzuki-san, I finished organizing the customer data you asked me to do.
Oh, you did it already? It was quite a lot.
It seemed like it was urgent, so I made it my priority to get it done.
That's great. It was the right choice to ask Miura-san to do it.
If there's anything else you need me to do, please let me know. I've been working here for 5 years now after graduating high school. I know the nature of the work as well as the personalities of the people I work with. Recently, from my supervisors and senior colleagues, thanks for your help. Thank you. I was being appreciated more often, which motivated me to work harder. Suzuki-san had a super smile on his face. His handsome smile is really healing. Good job, Yumi. I got to see something good from this morning. You're complimenting me too much. And look forward to coming to work every day. Then one day, my name is Himika Naito. Pleased to meet you. A new person came to the department due to transfer. The men were all surprised. The woman was beautiful and stylish.
I hear Naito is a returnee and speaks fluent English.
It isn't a big deal, but I used to live in Australia with my family.
So, if you have trouble with English, you can count on Naito. Well, unfortunately, we don't have any orders from overseas, but...
Despite her beautiful appearance, Naito-san, who I met for the first time, seemed very friendly. I'm sure I'll get along well with her. I wonder who she'll be working with. And with some help, the morning meeting was over.
Miura, may I have a word?
After the morning meeting, I was the only one stopped by the chief.
Naito, this is Miura.
My name is Yumi Miura.
I'm going to ask Miura to be Naito's instructor. Is that alright?
Yes, sir.
Miura has been with this department for quite a long time. She probably has the best grasp on not only the work, but also the relationships within the department. If there is anything you don't understand, you should ask her.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I taught her the basics, such as general schedule of the day, the main customers, the products that sell well in the department, and even how to use the office kitchen. Naito-san is listening attentively while taking notes. I'm glad she seems to have a solid work ethic. As I was thinking that, Naito-san seemed to loosen up a bit. How long have you been working here, Miura-san? This is my 5th year. So, you're 27 years old? I thought you'd be about my age, but you look young. Oh no, I started working after graduating high school, so I'm still 23. I see. But you've been working longer than me, so I'd like you to teach me more things from now on. Yes, of course. Please feel free to ask me anything. Naito-san will be sitting next to me from the time being. At first, I thought she was humble, quiet, and passionate about her work, but after 2 weeks, Naito-san's attitude gradually changed. Naito-san, can you send out the invoices? I'm sorry, I'm very busy with the meeting materials Suzuki-san asked me to prepare. The materials for next week's meeting, right? I'm sorry, but the invoice is more urgent. Anybody could do that type of thing, right? Why don't you just ask the person over there who's not busy? No, we all have our own jobs. Anyway, I cannot take this on. For some reason, Naito-san suddenly started refusing the work I asked her to do. From what I've seen, it seems like she's prioritizing the work that's given by a good-looking employee. She accepted any document from a good-looking guy. But if a male employee that isn't her type asks her, I'm busy right now. I've seen the scene many times where she refuses. Afterwards, a colleague of mine was able to get the story out of her, and Naito-san's goal is to find a good-looking boyfriend and leave the company on her own. So it's a stopgap job?
Looks like it. She spends her time after work going to blind dates and marriage meetups. By the way, I heard a rumor that there was a girl who got transferred to another department because she had a problem with a guy.
That could be Naito-san. If the rumors are true, we've got a very troublesome person on our hands. Naito-san continues to make excuses to avoid work. The more she didn't do her job, the more work we had to do. We were all fed up with it. But after seeing each other every day, maybe... Naito-san, could you please serve tea in the reception room? What? Me? I'm kind of busy right now. I see. Yamano-san from White Trading Company is here, but... What? Yamano-san? Oh, I'm sorry. I was mistaken. I can put off my current work. I'll go now. I knew it. Yes, Yamano-san is a handsome and famous salesman. We found out that Naito-san is productive when luring with good-looking men, so we purposely... It's a job a good-looking man asked us to do. Please run the errand to the company that good-looking man is in. We gave her the name of the handsome men that assign work to her. I don't know, but I guess this is a fit for her? Anyway, this went well, and the business started to run smoothly. Good thing Naito is so simple.
Seriously, it makes me wonder why she's even here, but...
If that's what gets her work done, I'm fine with it.
That's right.
We divide the work well, and nowadays we are able to go home on time more often. But one day, on our way home, a small incident occurred. When I was waiting on the train at the station...
Yumi!
Oh, Kento!
Long time no see. How have you been?
I'm fine. Are you back from club activities?
Yeah, I got picked as a regular on the basketball team.
That's amazing. With your good looks and athletic ability, you must be popular with the girls.
Stop it! You're embarrassing me.
It's been a long time since I saw this good-looking high school student, Kento. I was happy to him looking well. But who could have just been watching us from the platform across the street? I had no idea of knowing at the time. But I arrived at work the next morning. Hey, Miura-san! What? Naito suddenly grabbed me by the arm and stopped me. What's that about? I saw you! You were talking to Kento, the model, yesterday, weren't you? No, I think you have the wrong person. I took pictures! Here's this proof! Naito-san was taking pictures in secret. Kento was indeed a model for a magazine. It's a magazine for young kids, and I didn't think many people our age would know Kento. Does that mean Naito-san checks out magazines for young people as well? Oh, she must be a hardcore hottie lover. Just then, it was time for lunch break to end, and on this day, I have to go back to work. I was able to escape, but after that... Introduce me to Kento! I'm a fan! Give me Kento's contact info! And she repeatedly gets involved with me. Of course, I declined immediately, as I don't want to reveal personal information. Then, Naito-san to me. Who do you think you are for a high school graduate? Kento doesn't deserve a woman who can't even speak English! And she blatantly started to attack me. I'm a returnee like Kento with a high school level education, so I'm a good match. A high school graduate like you isn't worthy. It's not like I'm dating Kento or anything. Please, don't make false accusations. Hurry up and introduce me to Kento! You know his contact information, don't you? Even if I did, I would never tell you. Are we done? Please don't talk to me when we're working. It interferes with my business. Huh? Who do you think you are not listening to me when I'm asking this much? It was so annoying that I voluntarily moved to an empty seat so I could work at a distance from Naito-san. Despite that, Naito-san didn't give up, and every time we had a break, she would get involved. On that day as well, when I was drinking tea in the break room, she came over and... Low-educated high school graduate woman. Incompetence, you can't even speak English. And attacked me with her usual line. All you could do as a high school graduate is introduce me to Kento. If you get it, just give me his contact information. I was running out of patience after what she's been doing to me every day, so I stood up and told her, all in English no less. I suddenly started speaking in rapid-fire English, and Naito, as well as my colleagues, who were also nearby and all taken aback. What's going on? Please answer me already. What are you... Perhaps you didn't understand what I just said. Of course not! How dare you try to argue against me with your fake English? It's not fake. English is a most nowadays. When in Australia, did you learn English, Naito-san? Is what I said. Don't tell me. You didn't catch that? Naito-san turned bright red when I asked curiously. Furthermore, a colleague.
Even I could understand about 60% of it. I can't believe he couldn't understand it all. Are you really a returnee from abroad?
Now she was in trouble. Naito-san turned blue. That's enough! I don't care! And left.
So the rumors were true.
What rumor?
I talked to a coworker about a branch, and they said that Naito-san's overseas experience was only for a month or so, and she actually can't speak English at all. What? That's just a vacation. And she was bragging about being a returnee? At my own job, she used to run away whenever there was a foreigner in the office. Wow, so lame. By the way, Yumi, your English was great. Seriously, how are you so fluent?
Well, I didn't want to make it too public, but it would be strange to hide it. My mother passed away after I was born, and my father remarried when I was 2 years old. That person was a foreigner. My father and the man from the second marriage always spoke English at home. As I listened to them every day, I naturally learned how to speak English. By the way, Kento, who Naito was obsessed with, is my half-brother. He looks like his father, so he has dark hair and a Japanese face, but he's half Japanese. After Kento was born, I found it somewhat difficult to stay at home, so I graduated from high school and started working and living on my own. Strangely enough, once I was physically away from my family, there were no more weird ruts, and after that, we got along quite well and kept in touch with each other. We now eat out together and travel together, although we only see each other once in a while. I'm also very close to Kento.
I see. If Kento's your brother, you should have told Naito-san that.
If you're family, you know where he lives. Give me the address. I didn't want her to say something like that.
Yeah, she would. It would be scary if she followed you around to search for your parents' house.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, but please keep it a secret that Kento is my brother, okay?
Okay. Of course!
After that, Naito-san stopped getting involved with me, probably because she was embarrassed that I did that to her. On the contrary, her habit of skipping work to get good-looking guys became famous within the department, and the rumor of her being a fake returnee who couldn't even understand simple English spread, and she became a lot smaller. Then, a good-looking salesman...
So you're only in Australia for vacation?
And that was the deciding factor. She must have been so embarrassed that she couldn't stand it anymore. After a while of absence, she mailed her resignation notice and left alone and lonely. Her whereabouts are completely unknown. Apparently, she's living a reclusive life because she can't find a new job. She even got engaged to a handsome guy she met on a blind date, but ended up getting into a lot of trouble because of the marriage scam. I hear a lot of rumors, but I don't know what's true. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't be bothered with her right now. I'm just going to keep working hard for this company. Time to get back to work.
I am Haruna Kimura. I'm a sophomore at university. Recently, a cram school opened up in my neighborhood and started looking for a part-time office worker. I was interested, so I applied, and they hired me. And I started working this month. This wide seminar is a medium-sized cram school with several classrooms in the prefecture. This newly established manga school also had many students, even though it had just been established. The classroom staff consisted mainly of employees drawn from other classrooms.
Kimura, I heard you were a student at Wide University.
Yes, I am.
All the students there are excellent, so I can rest assured. I have high expectations for you.
I'll do my best, thank you. It was Mr. Karasuma, the head of the class, who approached me. Mr. Karasuma is also an excellent instructor who has created original teaching materials and implemented new teaching methods, which has led to a dramatic increase in student performance. He was selected as the head of the school in recognition of his achievements at such a young age.
Kimura, nice to meet you. Don't be nervous.
Yes, Mr. Nikota, nice to meet you. My instructor is his uncle named Mr. Nikota. Mr. Nikota has been an instructor since the school's inception, but I heard that he had to leave the field for a while due to illness. He returned to the field when this manhwa classroom was built. I am basically stationed in the staff room, copying prints and taking phone calls as requested by teachers. I'm also in charge of creating information for parents, sending out DMs, and grading answer sheets. Mr. Nikota also does most of the behind-the-scenes work, such as clerical work and sometimes consulting with students. But sometimes he also took over lectures when other teachers were absent. Hi, Mr. Nikota. I heard laughter coming from the classroom just now.
The kids spoke up, and it was a lot of fun.
It's not that lively when it's the other teachers. Mr. Nikota's class is so much fun, isn't it?
Oh, no, I'm just...
Nika-sensei, goodbye! Nika-sensei, teach the class again! Mr. Nikota was called Nika-sensei and loved by his students. The things Nika-sensei taught me showed up on the test!
Did you solve it?
Yeah, perfectly! I got 100!
That's great! Good job!
Nika-sensei, come to the study hall again and teach me how to study!
Yeah, of course.
I guess kids like sincere and kind people after all. Mr. Nikota was adored not only by her students, but also by other employees. But Mr. Karasuma, the head of the class, seemed to be different.
Man, I don't want an old man like Nekota. You think so too, don't you? No, Damn, he should just quit.
How can the head of the class talk like that? After some observation, Mr. Karasuma seems to be the type of person who takes out his stress on other people after picking a target. He would say behind Mr. Nikota, who is working on his computer, "You're not worth anything. Your way of doing things is old-fashioned," so he could hear. And when Mr. Nikota came back from talking to a student in the study room, he would say things like, "Stop chatting. This is not a daycare center." Mr. Nikota apologized politely each time, which made me feel uncomfortable. But kids are honest. Compared to the students who adore Mr. Nikota and come to him for advice, Mr. Karasuma's popularity is nowhere near as high. Then, Mr. Karasuma...
Mr. Nekota, didn't I tell you earlier not to waste your time talking to children?
I'm sorry about that, but I can't just ignore them.
You don't get good grades by getting along with them. We have to keep a good distance from the students. This is not a park.
But...
That's enough. I'd like you to stay out of the students' presence. This is an order from me as the head of the school.
And so, Nikota-san was forbidden to go to the classroom or study room.
Thank you for your hard work. I guess today's work is over for now.
Yes. Mr. Nikota, are you alright?
Thanks. You are a kind person, Kimura. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Despite saying that, he still seemed to be in low spirits. I'm sure he's feeling down because he can't get in touch with the kids. Mr. Nikota often sits in front of the computer for long periods of time and doesn't move, as if he's dozing off. Mr. Nikota looks bored. Yes, he should be teaching at the study hall.
It's fine. Let him do nothing but copying and grading.
He looks like he's slacking off.
That's right. Old men who just want to get along with their students should just sit by the window and be quiet.
I was so annoyed by this attitude. Ugh, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to have to gather evidence and report it to headquarters. One day, when I was beginning to think like that, a large quantity of text arrived from the vendor.
You two, carry these in.
Oh, yes.
Kimura, you take care of the smaller box over there.
As instructed, it was when Mr. Nikota and I were carrying the cardboard boxes.
All right.
Mr. Nikota hurt his back. After that, the doctor told him to rest and he had to take a break for a while. Oh, I should have carried it alone. It was my fault. Don't worry about it. You can't blame yourself for this one.
That's right. It's not your fault. I'm rather grateful to you for getting rid of that guy.
What?
I'm so glad Nekota is gone. I think we should terminate Nekota's contract and hire a young college girl.
All the employees who were listening to this were speechless. After this one incident, we discussed it with the employees who had a good heart and decided to discuss Mr. Karasuma's attitude with the head office. But things moved on without us having to make a move. A few days after Mr. Nikota went into recovery, I went to work as usual. The phone rang in the staff room, and employees were frantically responding to it. Sounds like a complaint call. Is something wrong? It's about Mr. Nikota. At that moment, several women rushed into the staff room. Is it true that you terminated Neko-sensei's contract? What? We can't lose Mr. Nikota. Call the head of the school. Yes, right away. I hurriedly led the women to the reception area and listened as everyone else was busy on the phone. Then, thanks to Mr. Nikota, my child is now enjoying learning. I moved my child to this classroom because Neko-sensei was assigned to it. Don't you know about Mr. Nikota's advice on entrance exams? It's very useful. Please bring back Mr. Nikota. Apparently, Mr. Nikota not only has outstanding teaching habits, but he also consulted with parents privately via email and gave them advice on entrance exams. A parent who engaged emails with Mr. Nikota a long time ago shared his email address, and now many parents were asking him for advice. Mr. Karatsuma didn't know about this and is just upset. And then... Is something wrong? I turned around and saw a woman who looked like a successful woman. Kimono branch manager! Nice timing.
Actually...
This person is the most important person in the department that oversees this area, and her name is Miss Kumino. She was originally scheduled to visit today. When the employee explained the situation, the branch manager went into the reception area without hesitation. Everyone, I apologize for the worries.
Branch Manager Kumano...
Don't worry, Nikota is just in recovery and is not quitting. Oh, really? He's not quitting. Nikota-sensei is staying. Yes, he will be back as soon as his back is healed. Mr. Karasuma, please apologize for the trouble you've caused.
Yes. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. The women left, looking relieved. That settled the matter. Oh, not quite. What is this all about? The parent said, my child heard the headmaster say that he was going to have Mr. Nikota quit.
That's a misunderstanding. Yes, there were times when I felt annoyed with Mr. Nekota for just sitting there, but I was just joking about making him quit.
Sitting around? Don't you realize how much Mr. Nikota has contributed to this school?
What?
It is not an exaggeration to say that he is the reason for our success. According to Kumuro branch manager, Mr. Nikota has always been close to the people in charge of private schools and knows the trends and countermeasures of each school very well. The reason why private school representatives frequently came to our school for information sessions is because of Mr. Nikota's connections. Mr. Nikota also analyzed entrance exam questions and compiled a list of trends, as well as interview question trends and model answers. What? That top secret file was made by Mr. Nikota?
No way! I thought they were made by the elite of the intelligence department!
I knew you didn't understand how great Mr. Nikota was. While he was recovering from his illness, he was working from home, compiling information and updating files as needed. After he retires, he has also prepared handover documents that summarize his know-how to ensure the smooth operation of our business. It was at this time when we were all surprised to learn the truth.
Thank you for your hard work. What are you all doing here? I went to the hospital, and they said I could go to work now, so I came.
When I told him what had happened...
I see. The parents. I'm very grateful.
This is not the time to be so casual, Mr. Nikota. Why didn't you tell the head of the class about the work you were doing?
Duties?
You're the one who's doing all the research on the question trends, interview trends, and countermeasures.
I originally created those on my own for the benefit of my students. It seems to have been helpful, though I didn't think it was worth mentioning. But I'm sorry if I caused trouble because I didn't tell you. From now on, I'll report when I've updated the files properly.
Everyone was taken aback by Mr. Nikota's smiling face. After that, the branch manager decided that there was a problem with Mr. Karasuma, the head of the class, and all employees were interviewed. I reported Mr. Karasuma's outburst. I also submitted evidence that was recorded. Additional investigation revealed that the teaching materials that Mr. Karasuma once used, which he had claimed to have made by himself, were taken from other cram schools. It was also discovered that the teaching method that Mr. Karasuma was touting as a revolutionary teaching method was actually very similar to the study channel videos. The bullying of Mr. Nikota was also added to the above, and Mr. Karasuma was transferred to a new position. In the end, it seemed that he couldn't stand the cold stares he received at his new workplace, and he quit a few months later. I heard Mr. Karasuma tried to reapply for a job at another cram school, but word has already spread around the industry. It sounds like a tough time, but it was all self-inflicted. After that, our classroom got a new female head of the school. The new head of the classroom knew Mr. Nikota's abilities well, and she let Mr. Nikota return to the study hall as an instructor. I've been thinking about applying for a permanent position here, as I'm beginning to find tutoring jobs appealing. Mr. Nikota seems to be having a lot of fun being involved with children again. I should do my best to become a reliable instructor like Mr. Nikota.
My name is Saori Sato. I am currently job hunting and have been interviewing at various companies, but the results have been a series of defeats. The next spring was about to arrive without getting a single job offer. How am I going to get a job? My goal was to find a job in the food industry. I was a volunteer in college handing out snacks to children who had no relatives. There I learned that food makes people smile, and that's why I wanted to work in that food industry. I came here today for an interview with a medium-sized company that operates a chain of restaurants mainly in Western Japan. All right, let's do this. I arrived at the interview site and was shown into a waiting room. There I saw a lineup of new graduates who would be my rivals. What a surprise to find that among them...
Hey, Sato!
Oh, Toda! He was my classmate in university, Masaki Toda. He's a good guy and the professors liked him a lot. Toda, haven't you already found a job?
Yeah, well, but in these times, you never know what might happen. So I thought I'd take as many as I could.
I see. I'm with Toda.
What?
I just thought there's no way I'll get accepted.
Come on! It's not like they're only hiring one person out of this group. I don't think you should be so negative, Sato. Stay confident.
Yeah, thanks. But if I can't be confident just because I'm encouraged, I wouldn't have had any trouble finding a job. I'm so nervous. Then there was a knock at the waiting room. The door was opened by an old man in a slightly worn suit.
Is this the waiting room?
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. You have a lot of energy, don't you?
Yes, nice to meet you.
Yeah, let's do our best.
Yes. He said that and then he sat down with us. Wait.
You thought he was from this company, didn't you?
Yeah, I completely did.
Take a good look. His suit is worn out, and his shoes are synthetic leather. He must have been laid off or something, and is trying to find a new job. I saw that this interview is for new grads and mid-career hires at the same time.
Oh, speaking of which, after a while, the interviewer came to call us all in.
We will now begin the group interviews. Please come to the interview room.
Yes. They're going to divide the people here into groups of 3 for the interviews. I'm going to be interviewed with Toda and this old man. However, my name is Saori Sato. When I was a university student, I volunteered as a member of a club. I saw a lot of smiling faces of children there, and that made me want to work in the food industry.
What exactly do you mean by club activities and volunteer work? Was it something related to food?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. We went around to children's homes and handed out homemade cookies and even cooked there.
You have to tell me that first.
I apologize.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, I'm a nervous wreck. On the other hand, Toda was very fluent in his self-promotion, which made me even more depressed.
That is all. I will do my best to be of help to your company.
You got away with words.
Thank you.
And now it was the old man's turn.
Now, Tsukamoto-san, please make a self-appeal.
The man stood up slowly, and then suddenly said something that surprised everyone.
I've only graduated from junior high.
What?
Are you serious? It's on your resume. We know.
Excuse me. Yes, of course.
This is a time for self-promotion, so we would appreciate it if you could speak about your strengths. You don't mean to say that being a junior high graduate is a point of appeal for you, right?
Well, yes. My strong points.
No idea?
I'm sorry. Well, I used to run a coffee shop.
You used to?
It was a long time ago. I didn't write about it because it's not much of a career, and I've already closed the store.
You mean it went out of business?
Yes.
Tsukamoto-san was a poor speaker, but he seemed to be very confident. After a while, an older interviewer who must have been in a high position made the suggestion.
Well, let's have a little group discussion, shall we?
A group discussion?
Yes.
I know some of you are very eloquent, and some not so much. But I would like to hear about your true thoughts. When we ask you questions, it seems that you either speak as if you have prepared your lines on a plank of wood, or you freeze up without saying anything. It's not that we want to hire someone who is eloquent. May I ask the 3 of you to start the conversation with a question or two?
And we were to begin a conversation, the 3 of us.
Tsukamoto-san, was it?
Yes.
How did you come to work for this company, Tsukamoto?
I was a foreman, just until the other day.
Yes?
I worked there for 20 years. In fact, I had one child who became an adult last year. Now that I can live well on my own, I wanted to do what I want as well.
What you want to do?
Run a coffee shop.
You said earlier that you closed your store.
Yes.
But you've been working as a foreman all your life, right?
That's right. I had a child when I was 20 years old, so I worked as hard as I could to provide for my child. The coffee shop was a little before that.
But then, you were mostly a student, weren't you?
As I said before, I've only graduated from junior high.
Oh, right.
I've been working since I was 16.
May I ask for more details?
I don't mind. It's going to be a bit long, and I'll be the only one talking, but
no problem. Go ahead.
Okay. Actually, I grew up in a single mother household. Before I can remember, my father, who was addicted to gambling, abandoned me and left me. I was raised by a single woman. My mother's family owned a small coffee shop. My mother used to help out there, and I used to spend time there sometimes. It was a very cozy place. Even though I was in elementary school, I used to act tall and drink black coffee. However, my mother and father divorced, and since then, in order to earn a more solid income, my mother no longer had time to help out at the coffee shop. I stopped visiting the coffee shop altogether too. My mother worked several jobs, including cleaning, until she was exhausted every day. Then one day, she got sick and passed out on the floor. When I was in the first grade of junior high school, I was sent to a relative's house to be taken care of. But it's not easy to find people who are willing to take care of children. I was never welcome. And in the worst cases, I was sent from one relative to another every few weeks.
So you didn't end up staying with your mother's family? My mother's family was not in a financial position to take care of me. Of course, they offered to help, but shortly after my mother became ill, her father, who was my grandfather and the owner of the coffee shop, passed away. My grandmother ran the coffee shop by herself, and it would have been difficult for her to take care of me in such a situation. I wished I was a little bigger. I see. And my mother passed away just before I graduated from junior high school. She was still in her 40s. It was really hard and painful. There were just too many things that were taken away from me.
Tsukamoto-san.
After my mother's funeral, I went to my parents' coffee shop. That is when a debt collector was there. We were running at a loss and couldn't make ends meet, so we had to borrow money. They even came to take away my mother's incense.
Oh no!
Hey! What are you doing? Huh? What the hell is this, kid?
I am sorry, but don't touch him.
That's money from mourning my mother! Shut up. What you borrow, you pay back. That's common sense, right? Grandma!
Koji, I'm sorry.
Grandma! I'm going to fix this coffee shop! I promise! I'm not going to high school! I will definitely protect this coffee shop where I spent time with my mother and where she used to smile! Right now, I can't even drink coffee because it's too bitter, but someday, I will be able to make good coffee! And when I was 16 years old, I became the effective owner of my grandmother's coffee shop, while the name of the business remained in my grandmother's name. It's hard to imagine now, but I was 16 years old, and my grandmother and I managed to get by. And when I was 18, I officially took it all back, but then my grandmother died within a year. Running a business is not easy. The coffee shop went out of business in a short time. There was no way I could keep it alive.
Everyone was listening to Tsukamoto-san's story, and before I knew it...
That must have been hard.
Tsukamoto-san! Tsukamoto-san! Everyone in the interview room was weeping profusely.
What? Wait, everyone!
That must have been so hard!
Yes, but it wasn't just hardship. After I closed the coffee shop, I met my current spouse. I was blessed with children, and for the past 20 years, I've enjoyed the happiness of living with my family to the fullest. I was truly happy. And now, once again, I want to bring back the coffee shop. But for the past 20 years, I've only been working in the field, so I don't know a thing about running a business. I didn't even know what it was like to operate a restaurant back then. That's why I want to go back and relearn. Wait, but that means you want to steal this restaurant's management know-how, right? Oh, I guess you're right. I guess you're right? Sato-san? Tsukamoto-san? You two really aren't using your brains! For things like this, you just have to make something up that sounds convincing. You just said something nice, so you don't have to say anything else.
Then Goto-san suddenly applauded.
Excellent. Toda finally let us hear his true feelings. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're smart, so no matter what I ask you, you can respond according to the situation. But I knew you weren't being honest. I'm sorry. Do you want to work for us, Toda?
Then Toda said,
I don't need a job offer. If there's an opening, I'd like you to hire Tsukamoto-san. What? I see. I understand.
Toda.
I'm sorry. I didn't have much of a desire to work here. Or rather, it was a problem before that. After listening to what Tsukamoto-san said, I realized that I don't have enough determination for work. I would like to seriously reconsider my future.
Toda.
Oh, and you. Make sure you present yourself well. Is the group discussion still going on? Yes, it is. Well then, let's hear what Sato has to say now, shall we?
And many questions were asked to me. Thanks to Tsukamoto-san for creating an atmosphere of honest talk, I think I was able to convey in my own words what I have done so far and what I want to do in the future without being nervous.
Thank you very much, all three of you. Now then, we will contact you with the results as soon as possible.
Later, I opened the envelope that arrived at my home. I got it! I got the offer! I got the job offer. Surprisingly, Toda also wanted to work for this company and kicked out his first choice to become my colleague. And to my surprise...
Congratulations, Sato-san!
Tsukamoto-san, you too! Tsukamoto-san was also hired, and in the spring, we met again.
Maybe one of these days we can work together.
Yes, I will not leave you on your own, Tsukamoto-san.
Thank you.
By the way, it will be a few years from now that Tsukamoto-san will be very successful in this company, taking advantage of his connections and experience from his previous job and his unbeatable perseverance. I want to make people smile through food in my own way as well.